I'll make this quick. If you're going to go to Amazon.com, go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon link. That's how you support the podcast. Buy whatever you want. Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon link.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Mohr Stories. It's a twofer. Welcome to Fake Mustache Studios. Laird Hamilton, Gabby Reece. Or is it Gabby Hamilton?
And Laird Reece.
You are Laird Reece. We know who wears the pants in his family. A mother of 3, 3.5, 4.
Well, I'm not dogs and husbands included?
I told you the line. He told me we were married a few years, and he said, I had a mother and she died. So, I'm not his mommy. 3 girls.
Well, you have one mother.
Yeah.
That's a pretty creepy thing to say to your,
no, but
maybe a woman you're going to marry.
Almost 17 years later, and I've been, I've learned that lesson.
You want to set the precedent early. Yeah. You don't want your wife turning into your mom. Now talk about creepy.
Doesn't mean he doesn't want me to make his dinner or do his laundry, but don't tell me what to do.
Right. But
and then I fought after.
When my wife, when I first brought her back to Jersey to meet my folks, basically I hooked up with somebody that made the trains run on time. Everything was, I now know that the shoes go in the closet under the stairs. There shouldn't be dishes in the sink, stuff, or I'm like, put the dishes in the sink. No, the dishwasher's right next to the sink. Just easy, stupid stuff that guys don't think of on their own. And my father looked at Nick and said he always needed to be managed and mothered. And I was like, oh my God, he nailed it. So no matter what you say, Laird,
I know
Gabby is a mother figure in your life. So because there's 2 of you, and by the way, I'm going to tell the listeners, you guys are 2 of the coolest people. You know what? I don't have to tell the listeners because you're a 7-time gold medal winner.
Oh, sure.
Right? I didn't get that wrong, did I?
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I am wrong?
Yeah. But that doesn't, and winning or losing doesn't make you cool, does it?
No.
Yeah, no. What, are you kidding me?
Actually, it usually gets in the way.
It does, right?
Well, I just want to, how many gold medals did you win?
I went straight from college to the pros. And when I was playing, we weren't in the Olympics, and I played.
You played in Sydney.
I played in 4-on-4, so that discipline wasn't in the Olympics. And then I switched to 2-on-2, but by then I was done playing.
On the Wikipedia page, it says you won 7 gold medals at the Sydney Olympics.
Well,
and it's good.
Well, Laird?
So there you go. You
but
better
7,
not believe everything you.
I'd have to be playing volleyball for 25 Olympics. 25 years of Olympics.
Yeah, that was
right?
my next 4 minutes of questions. Was how did you grind out so many?
And you're only 42. I mean.
So you went right from, where'd you go to college?
Florida State.
FSU, that's right.
Yeah.
Chris Wanke, Charlie Ward, Gabby Reece.
Deion Sanders. I was there when Deion was there. We were.
Did you guys ever hook up? Did you guys ever hook up?
No, but we were great friends.
Gabby,
we were great friends.
Did you guys ever hook up?
No.
I don't fool around with corners.
He did, well, I won't get into it, but actually, I met him when I was 17, and he's still actually a friend of mine, and he's looked out for me a little bit over the years.
They never hooked up. That's how you know that they never hooked up. Friends.
You stay friends.
All that time.
I read this one place. I think it was in GQ and their weird quizzes that they do.
Go. I
Not
can't
the Cosmos.
I can't wait to hear his content.
The stuff that he pulls out.
Oh, for sure.
Here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
It was no, it was a line from an old movie. And when the guy figured out, or the wife figured out the guy was having an affair, and he's like, how did you know? She said, never shake hands with somebody you're having an affair with. So anytime somebody comes over and they kiss your wife just completely regular, that's completely...
When they shake hands, it's...
if Deion came to your house and you guys just kissed, you would be like, well, they went to college. But if Deion came over and all of a sudden you guys shook hands, Laird would be like, what? You better get back there and kiss. You better get back there and kiss my wife.
Laird would suss that out
invite
right
some
away.
guys back over and I'll take have to be nice.
Where's Antonio Cromartie? He can get anybody.
Laird would suss it all out though.
So no, you were never in the Olympics because it wasn't a sport.
It wasn't. It was later, and I was playing one discipline on the beach and then another, and so
discipline meaning 2-man, 4-man.
Yes, I was playing 4-man first, primarily when I first turned professional. I was drafted, because it happened at the same time.
All right, let's go, because there's two of you, I want to go in order and jump back and forth because
Okay.
I like the confluence of events that put you guys together. Two
Oh.
people that are actually the greatest at what they do and did, and then now making beautiful families together and part of the Malibu mob. And, you know, for the listeners, to commute from Kauai to Malibu, you guys can kiss our ass.
It's
I
a
know.
long way to go.
People say, "Oh, do you guys go on vacation?" I go, "From what?" Like we know
Detroit.
it. We know it. I always say that too. I could have married somebody from Detroit, and I would have been commuting from California to Detroit. But I lucked out. I got somebody from Hawaii.
I
But
forced you to come stay with me in Hawaii
yeah,
for half.
Laird kept me around too many people. It's not good for him.
So Laird, when you actually were on Gary Unmarried, the two of you. That's
Yeah.
where we met. And
Yes.
Laird, I was asking you about UFC and boxing and stuff. And you were really adamant, like, I don't like violence. I don't like people getting hit. I don't like to watch fights. And you sort of intimated to me at the time that growing up, I got the impression that growing up white in Hawaii was very violent every day.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, people just beat you up because you were white.
Absolutely.
When did
well,
that-
they try to.
I was going to say, when did it turn from getting beat up to turning the corner of like, nah, I don't think so. Box cutter style.
I think that's where I used a lot of what I did, to separate me from other people. I would just usually do radical things to kind of draw the attention away, either be daredevil or be a troublemaker in the class or something like that. And I think I got a reputation that I was willing to do anything, and that kind of has a tendency to chase people away. You know, dogs like to chase people that run. So
Yeah.
when you don't run and then they don't know what you're going to do and what you're capable of doing, I think that kind of gives people a little bit
that
of
Howley's crazy, bro.
apprehension. Yeah. Don't
Seriously.
mess with them.
We were sitting around
'Cause he
playing
might
Talk
do anything.
Story, bro. He pulled down his pants. He dropped the deuce on the campfire. I don't know why.
Oh wait, is
my
that
Hawaiian is
Adam
Mexican.
Sandler? What movie was that?
I don't know.
No, it's like it sounds
pulling
like a
it out of
mix
his
of
hat.
what's yeah.
I don't have a big Adam Sandler
who's-
catalog
No,
in my
but you
head.
know who did his pigeon like that was from that first 50 days.
Rob
remember?
Schneider?
His pigeon
Very
was
funny.
very much like your Mexican kind of.
I just did
you know.
Hawaiian. I turned him into like a Mexican guy
You
from the
did.
Inland Empire.
Yeah,
Yeah, Laird, you guys should get like a summer home in like Newark, New Jersey.
I know.
Sure.
Just go back and
Next to
forth.
a freeway, maybe a train station.
Just go to Manhattan, right downtown.
Basically, you
I-
lived your life in a way where you really never have to wear shoes, except to get on the plane to go to your other home where you don't have to wear shoes.
Well, or do
That's
sports.
true.
You know, you got to wear motocross boots to do motocross. You got to wear snowboard boots to snowboard. You got
you
Oh,
do
we-
motocross
so-
too?
Well, and you wear
So
snowboard
whatever,
boots
just-
to foil.
yeah. Well, but I'm just saying, usually any kind of foot apparel is related to some sort of activity.
You live your whole life without shoes on. You get to the airport, you got to put shoes on to go to the airport. Then you get to
Slippers,
security,
just
they
slippers.
make you take your shoes
Take your
off.
That's why I wear
And you're like,
slippers,
bro,
though.
this is how I showed up.
Yeah.
How about you just let me roll through the airport barefoot like a Hare
Anyway.
Krishna?
But is it illegal to be without your shoes on in the airport?
I don't know. What is this? Communist
All right,
Russia?
sorry.
No.
What is this, Bulgaria?
They probably try to make you wear shoes.
No shirt, no shoes,
No.
no dice.
Even my kids
No
know
service.
that. My 4-year-old knows that one. Rodeo said that. She's like, "Do I need my shirt and my shoes for service?" I go, "Yeah, get it on."
But slippers are easy to take off at the airport.
You-
That's how we
how-
were raised in slippers.
You were, but were you born in Hawaii or did you move there as a
No,
kid?
my mom moved to Hawaii when I was about 3 months old.
From
Baby.
where?
San Francisco.
A lot of memories from San Francisco?
Tons of them.
2-month-old
from the
memories?
university.
Wait,
Hospital.
tell him your biological dad's last name and your mom's last name, and he can figure out how they met.
Okay, well, my biological father's last name was Zerfas. That's Zerfas, and then my mom's maiden name was Zyrick.
Where do you think they met?
Haight Ashbury.
No, come on, Zerfas and Zyrick.
At roll call,
Hello, homeroom.
classroom, homeroom.
You're sitting right next to each other.
Oh.
Come on, Jay.
I don't
you're
know.
a
I was
smart
thinking of, I
guy.
was going bigger.
No, she was like 19, 20 when she had Laird. She was a puppy.
Surface in Zurich?
Zyrick.
Zyrick
Zyrick.
and Zerfas.
Yeah, it was sweet until Laird
A
came
Greek
out.
and a German.
And then the dad was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
Did your dad try to get back in touch with you when you got famous? Seems to be how the story
I
is,
found
you know.
him actually.
Yeah.
I
Really?
tracked him down. Yeah,
And where is he? Detroit.
he's dead now.
He died.
But I tracked him. But I
3
tracked
years
him
ago.
and and then I had a breakfast with him and
We were 18, right? Or
Yeah.
16.
18, 19, something like
And
that.
then he had
20.
one phone call, like, remember, like, maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And I was all like, well, what did he say? Did he say he was sorry? Did he explain himself? And Laird was like, no. They just had this, I don't know.
It's just an awkward, stilted meeting of
No, but
what-
I think you just realize at that point that unless you have memories to share, that really that genetics and then you're related to them genetically really is just that's just one that's just one piece. But
you're meeting a stranger.
You got to put the
a
time
stranger.
in.
And at the end of the day, and you have some certain genetic traits. You know, you have genetic traits that you're similar to, but really you don't have anything. You don't go, oh, remember that time at the baseball or the football or surfing, or remember that time those mokes were chasing us and we had to, run down that thing, or, you don't have any of these experiences that really, that's all you have at the end. When you look back at your life to share with people, your friends, your wife, your parents, it's all about those experiences. And when you don't have any experience with somebody, there's nothing to talk about. You get through the lunch and you're like, okay, your eyes and my eyes look similar. Have a nice day. I'll see you later.
Has that made you a better father? Your girls?
Absolutely.
You think had your parents stayed together, you'd be, it probably made you exponentially a better father.
Well, I don't know if it's made me a better father, but it's definitely made me more conscious of being a father and then wanting to maybe be different than what my dad was. I mean, and I think not only did it's like, I'm not going to begin to understand why two people can't be together in a relationship, because that's a lot of work. I go, if mom and dad can't be together, but it's more about his support of the family, like him helping my mom pay bills to help me. And I go, that's, for me, if you're not going to be there, at least, send some money.
So if Laird can't
to help my mom feed me.
If Laird can't stand me anymore, I know at least he'll be sending money.
That's why we got it on record on Mohr Stories.
You heard that? You heard that, everyone.
It's been recorded.
Yeah.
So Gabby, you went to FSU. You played volleyball at FSU.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer. I grew up in the Virgin Islands until my junior year of high school.
So you guys your whole life you were barefoot.
We can't. No, I had to wear shoes to school. I had a uniform. It wasn't like.
But she was discriminated against like I was, and I was discriminated because I was a white guy, and she was discriminated because she was giant, white woman, but giant. So in a way, still the same, and on an island. So and there's a harshness that her and I have. That's probably where we have this.
You were always super tall.
Yeah, I was.
I know, right? I just scraped the bottom of the barrel of bullshit questions that have ever been.
I was 6 feet at 12.
So you've always been tall. Next, I'll ask you how the weather is up there.
6 feet at 12.
At 12.
Really?
I was done at 15. I was this tall, 6'3" already.
And it was a super awkward time, or were you like supermodel good?
It's still awkward.
Well, no, I mean you have like model good looks, and you make a living because you can talk and walk, and you're a very good analyst.
I think it was all really good. I think when it's too easy when you're young, sometimes it's a disservice to you. I think when you get a bit of a rub, it helps in your, developing you a little bit. And so I always appreciate that. We have this conversation about our kids because things are pretty good for them. And so you sort of wonder what's their rub going to be in life that helps them get an edge.
You got to create one. Like,
we try.
Burn their face.
We're mean.
Make them walk around with burns in their face.
Well, they did that already. And there's a movie about it. But
abuse them.
No.
I was discriminated against primarily because I was an asshole. That could never.
That stopped for you?
It has actually. When I became mothered and managed.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
She's the buffer between you and the rest of the
world?
world?
My friend Bert Kreischer said once on this podcast, he said, I don't think people realize the Tupac that used to live within you. And my wife gunned him down in Las Vegas.
How did she, how do you think she managed you? Why do you think you allowed her to mother and manage you? Because
she was everything at first sight, and I explained it. I think it might have been in the last podcast, so forgive me for repeating myself. But it was with Kelly Carlin. We talked about this. It was like when you see a deer in the woods and you start walking differently, and you become super aware of how special it is and how delicate and incredible a creature you're looking at, and you get really still and quiet. And you're suddenly conscious of even how loud your breathing is and what's under your feet. And the earth and the temperature, and when you want someone else to look at it, you're super light. You don't go, hey, look at that deer over there. It's like, your friend's like, or what? And you're like, so with me, it was like that, like seeing a deer in the woods and behaving in a way that I didn't want that deer to ever turn and run away. But then I learned, after behaving that way over an extended period of time, that was the true self. That was the me that always overcompensated and needed attention. That was the wall I put up of like the showtime all the time was to protect that guy inside. And Kelly Carlin, George Carlin's daughter, really, she's like a therapist and like a super transcendental meditation Buddhist. And she goes, so you discovered the actual self. And I was like, yeah, far out.
How about being George Carlin's daughter?
We talked a lot about
That
it.
must
You're
be
the
heavy.
podcast right after that. So you got big shoes to fill.
That'd be heavy.
But you guys are, so you were drafted in what?
So
I
I
didn't know there was professional volleyball leagues.
I know. Well, they're barely, but, so I got moved to Florida my junior year of high school, went to,
From the Virgin Islands.
from the Caribbean because I was kind of going nowhere. And my mom thought that was probably a good idea to get out of
Smoking
there.
a lot of dope.
Not so much dope. I was more of a rebellious, and rum is sort of like cheaper than soda.